What's up, guys? Welcome to Wasted Space, and we're back in Rimworld, and we have plenty more work to do. Why have I... Oh yes, I thought for a second that looked like a stockpile, potentially, laid out there. Like, why on earth have I got corpses in a stockpile? But no, there's no stockpile there. We're all good. So yeah, we just built the stockpile indoors. We're trying to recruit Belcourt here, who we took out of the last fight, because while he's incapable of some stuff, he's pretty capable at some other stuff, and I would really like someone who's good at shooting, which is the plan with him. And let's speed it up a bit further. Otherwise, our plan is to get stuff indoors, basically. I think research-wise, we're doing hospital beds, which is fine, although tempted to go for hydroponics too. But the thing with hydroponics is we're not going to be running that without geothermal power. The other thing we need to do is clear up out here. This is still... there's still too much cover around out here. What's this? Solar flare. Okay, we can deal with that. Of course, the Knurl is still hunting, hopefully. Bringing us back some meat. Obviously, we have no power for the cook stove now, but maybe I should adjust my builds, as someone suggested, to try and cut down. Yes, as I thought, meat's allowed in the... Oh, meat, no, meat's allowed there, but not human meat. What about in here? Food, raw food, meat. No human meat. Stop with the human meat. Cool, yeah, so all food goes in the freezer in there. It's not going to spoil. Meds are in the freezer for no reason other than because that's somewhere easy and convenient to store them, and we might as well not differentiate between the herbal and the non-herbal. And our stockpile that's out here has been mostly moved inside. The only things we have left are some raw resources out there, which is cool. Wouldn't mind it if they were to get rid of... Oh, our dumping stockpile is completely jam-packed again. Fair enough. Let us increase the size of that, and I want to increase it away from... Actually, no, that won't do it. Let's do it. I want to increase it away from where sort of people are likely to be entering this area, just so that we can keep our kill zones nice and clear. And obviously we're going to need to expand it. Oh, can we stop losing people, guys? I actually wanted him. Nell, what are you up to? Cleaning dirt. No, you can... Cruelty's on his way to do what? Probably carry him out rather than strip him, but we will strip him first, and then he can go and put that in a grave. Damn it. It's a shame. As I said, I would just really like someone else for the colony. These four guys, while cool, are meaning things are a little inefficient, a little slow. Although nice that we're finally getting some cleaning done again. Okay, so let's... Oh, hang on. Hang on. There was a reason we weren't doing that, and that's because at some point we need to have a look in here. I'm still highly suspicious of what we're likely to find and whether or not it's likely to absolutely kick our ass. Probably, I think, is the answer. Probably. Gun-wise, Mako's got a gun. Cruelty has a gun. The Knurl has a gun, and JP Miner can't shoot. That's fine. Let's just check the cooking thing. Yeah, actually, I was wrong. There's someone that shouldn't be cooking in that list. Maybe that's what the food poisoning was about. Cruelty should not be doing any cooking at all. It should be all Mako. Which is fine. Meds are looking good. Food's looking alright. Not massively great, but seem to have a fair bit. Let's actually expand that growing zone just a tiny bit like that. Apologies if you can hear my fish tank in the background, by the way. I am being very, very slack and haven't topped the water level up in like 2 weeks. They're fine, of course. It's very, 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 very well filtered for its size. But the evaporation in my room does mean that it's making a bit of a noise at the moment. Just clearing this up so that we can remove any cover opportunities for anyone trying to come in through this route. This way, it's going to be tricky to completely remove cover opportunities, because of course each one of these corners is essentially a cover opportunity, but I think for now that's looking alright. What did we get in there? Tortoise leather. And it's miles away, so I'm not that bothered. Things are coming along, but just need another guy. Need another dude to just speed things up. There's almost no point in me doing a huge amount of expansion while we've got no one to make use of it. I did notice in sort of my vagues looking around before I started the recording that we have some plasteel over here that I might go and take a look at some point soon. It does mean, of course, going around this thing. And we know that there is some sort of foreboding coming from that. Some sort of foreboding? How does that even work? What are you saying, man? A sense of foreboding. We got some random leather. Should we make some cowboy hats? I like cowboy hats. And let's configure it. Yep, just make some cowboy hats. We got 3, I think. So, let's make 3 cowboy hats, so everyone's got one. Out of whatever. Out of power again as well. Now, that's probably due to the solar eclipse. Sorry, the solar flare, meaning that the batteries weren't charged up properly. But again, it just means that we need to be thinking about geothermal. Let's take that corner there off. And let's also take, no, too much. Let's take that there off so that they don't have an opportunity to stand behind that versus anyone that might be over here. And then the geothermal. How do we want to do this? I'm thinking to just like wall it off and then have the electric run through here, and then hopefully, because this isn't walled off, they still go around, if you know what I mean. In fact, yes, let's start working towards the geopower. So I want to come out, maybe just check the size of it. Power, geothermal. Okay, so we got, hello, welcome to my colony, my friends. What we'll do, don't need a double thick one. Stop being all OCD. Is have that come through like that, maybe. Let's dig that and see what we find and go from there. And time of year, July, so the time. Have we made some cowboy hats? We had our cloth toque. There's the hyperweave toque. Now let's have a look at this, because this has some decent armor and it's pretty good with the cold. So, although it's not a particularly good one, it's perhaps something we should use instead of a cowboy hat. Depending on how well the cowboy hats are. Have we got anyone that will even do it? Crafting. 4 for JP Miner. 3. So yeah, JP Miner is the guy that should be doing it, and rightfully so. It should be very low priority. That's quite a few of you guys. How come you like me? What have I done to warrant that? Tempted to continue expanding our defences as well. There's not really anywhere obvious to stick this that's going to work with the switch. Like, you could fit one there, and that when that explodes, in theory, it wouldn't pop this one, and vice versa. I think we're too low on power now. Like, we can't quite charge up enough during the day. And there's, with my plan of how to fit these in, not really. If I put that there and they start shooting at the guys, it's going to go back and potentially blow this up. But whatever, there's not an obvious place for it. And I know we're in the process of doing the geothermal, and therefore why on earth are you building solar power still? But yep, we're going to need both. We are going to need both. Maybe while we're down here, we should also find out what's in there, because that clearly has a hole on the other side of it. Ooh, cool. That was the hospital beds, wasn't it? So, I think next up we should probably go for hydroponics. Once we've got the geothermal done, obviously we'll be able to bring that inside. It does mean all the while I keep queuing up these research projects that JP Miner is going to do very little of the tailoring that he's doing now. So maybe I'll... But you can't just stop, dude. You were building the hat. You just leave it there. Fine. Prioritize smithing. I'm not sure you're doing it right if you're hitting a hat with a hammer. It's not how it works. Cool. So that's all up. So with a bit of luck, extra solar panel, we should start charging the batteries up properly. The tunnel's cut. That looks okay. Structure-wise, don't want to make it out of wood. I don't particularly want to make it out of steel either. Once again, let me just check where the geo ends. So in line with the trees. So if we go, do this with steel. So there's that tree and this tree. So we need to. Don't like that. Something a bit like. Nope. Auto save. Jumping my mouse around. Something a bit like this. Potentially. Does that fit in? Hang on, before you build any more, let me just check it fits. Yeah, it does. Let's cancel that and actually have this even tighter in up there, like that. And I might potentially double up the thickness of this wall later as well, for no reason other than, I don't know. I don't want it getting accidentally broken through either. That would be not very helpful. Yes, someone also mentioned that my home region was not properly expanded in here. Thank you very much, guys, for all the useful tips and comments. I am obviously no Rimworld pro, especially, I played it quite a bit when it very first came out, the first couple of alphas, and then I don't know, moved elsewhere. Did a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's only been very recently that I've come back to thinking, yeah, Rimworld's really cool, I'll keep playing that. And all the more so with some of the stuff that's been added in here, because you got to admit, some of the sort of extra content we've had since the early version has really made this game come alive to some extent. And I know this is probably all very unnecessary, having quite so much marked as home zone, but the plan eventually is for this pretty much this entire outdoor area here to be kill zone, and everything will be inside in this mountain. Blights destroying crops, stockpiles look alright enough, that shouldn't matter. We're still running out. Oh, are the turrets on? Yeah, the turrets are on, that's why. That's why. Trade ship, bulk goods, and a mid-world chef. I could potentially have a look at like grabbing these guys, capturing him, pissing off the guys that own him, obviously, or own him, whatever you want to call it, pissing off Fisherman's Small Town, but at the same time getting myself potentially someone worthwhile. But I don't actually think this is the guy, especially not with Pessimist and Abrasive. I'm fine, thanks. Cool, so that's all done down there. Let's get the hydro done as well. Oh, well, very efficient. Gun turret cooling next, please. Get those turrets more effective. Now, I'm kind of tempted, before I build the geothermal power down there, to see whether or not the AI responds like I think it will. But that might be very dumb, given that we're still not getting enough power. Okay, yes, the turrets were on, but I'd like to have a little bit of surplus, really. So we're going to go up here, and then I'm going to try and run this. I know this is probably making it quite expensive to run this cable, but I want it way away from where the combat's happening. I really don't want this getting accidentally destroyed by explosives, and I also don't want this connecting into this same system. I'd like there to be two different. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this further away from the solar. A bit more. I really want, like, when explosives start happening, I want this to be completely independent bit of power. So if need be, I can shut down stuff inside to still have the turrets running. Now, even if this link here gets destroyed, you've got this separate one round. Now, unfortunately, what I can't do is deal with this section here. I'm gonna redo the power, I think, at some point. because obviously I'm going to move these solar panels at some point as well once it's all a bit more organised. We've got loads of wood from the chopping we were doing. Is having this stuff sitting out here actually helpful? I don't think it is. I think it's probably best if we look at making the stockpiles indoors bigger again. So we're going to continue this little bit here, and then I'm going to do another stockpile next to this one. Nice big one. Is that going to be too big? Possibly. Yes, I'm being paranoid about it falling down, but so be it. I'm paranoid like that, I can't help it. And I'm going to have to make it that wide so that I can have the doorway central. It's just the only way it's going to happen. In fact, I don't know why these are doorways. I could have much more space for people to move in and out of there. Let's move some of this slag as well. And then maybe we end this episode by opening up this. I don't know. I'm scared of it, but at the same time, I want to expand that way. I go down. No one too keen on building the geothermal, is that it? Oh no, Mako's at it. Sorry dude, I did not mean to question. I'm not going to bother, normally I haul stuff, but I'm not going to be bothering with these bits in here, because they're never really going to have to go up and down that corridor, that's not the point. That's purely there to run the power down. Like I could even, if I could be bothered, fill it back up again with conduit wall, just so that even if they sort of break into here, or in fact it would give them even less reason to want to break into here, because there's no route through that way. I might do that. See how they react and then make up our mind there. As far as the space in here is concerned, I think I'm going to be squaring a lot of it off. Same with this stuff. Remove all the possible cover and also give ourselves the best kill zones out here we can possibly get. Now maybe we can look at putting another power switch somewhere down here and having some more turrets in this area. Or maybe even in sort of this sort of area, so allow them to come into a proper crossfire. Or maybe that's a silly thing to say. Also, we can, let's deconstruct that bed, and then we're going to put a hospital bed in there now we've got them. Thank you, Michael. Yes, this has to be steel, doesn't it? So that can now be our medical room. Once that's done, I'll leave a medical room for the time being, just so that we're covered. It's not like we are, like we need even half the rooms we've got. But that's fine. Nice and prepared. Worst case scenario, I am just going to start capturing people that come to visit me. That'll teach them to be nice, friendly and all that. No. Ew, what have I done? I've cut it too far one way. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. We're good. We're good. OCD chill. You're fine. This is also slightly annoying, but I'm going to ignore it. I can't fix it. It's off the map. Things going relatively well. Power is 100% fine, to the point where I could even consider deconstructing some of this solar, or I'm not going to get any more batteries, just because they're having too much stored power seems to increase the chances of getting those power circuit problems. We have struck compacted steel, eh? Lucky us. It's August now as well, so... Did he make a cloth one? Why would you make a cloth one? I would have assumed that they would have prioritised the better materials. Let's turn cloth. I want them to use the leather stuff, just so that it has some really good value to it in theory as well once they're made. So, still on a low priority, of course. Don't want them spending too much time doing that sort of thing. Are you naked, JP Miner? You look slightly naked. You got some synthread pants on. That's not really good enough. So, gonna get the cowboy hat, and elk hide t-shirts about the best we've got. So go and get that and the cowboy hat. It's better, and maybe states the duster in 48%. Maybe I'll make us some dusters out of that leather as well. Let's turn this stuff off. Just want them to use the animal leather. My experience, at least, and this could be completely incorrect, you seem to get a bit more for that. Potentially just because you've had to hunt and prepare and do all that extra work for it. It would make a bit of sense, but still, I think it's probably worth it. Let's keep expanding the home zone in here. Get them to haul all this stuff out as well. Did we research stone cutting? I can't remember. Oh, what we got? Attacking immediately, tribespeople, and they are literally in the doorway as we speak. Okay, guys, time to react. Time to blooming click out of the game by mistake. So sorry if there was a bit of a flick there, but my screen, for some reason the mouse is allowed to go off the screen onto the second screen. So sometimes when I go for stuff down here, I miss. Right, everyone's equipped-ish. Let's get people over here. Who was it? It was Cruelty with the pistol? It was indeed Cruelty with the pistol. And then Mako there, and the Null. Anyone coming this bottom route? No, okay. Just get yourselves out there, guys. Fortunately, the turrets responded nice and fast. We are definitely going to lose at least one turret. No question. But that is fine. That'll probably kill a whole bunch of them as it goes. Yes, indeed it did. Oh, there were some down the bottom. Interesting. But that's fine. That's where we put the snipers. So, to be honest, this is all looking relatively okay. Maybe I'll send Cruelty down the back way to deal with Bringer there if need be. No, go around that side, please. You two, can you in range? No, you're not. Hang on. Yeah, for the time being, just shoot at Gerber. And Cruelty, let's have you come. Maybe I need some sandbags on this side as well, because Cruelty's not going to have the range for this. Cool, so that one's fleeing. So that just leaves Bringer there, and we should be able to outrange him with our guns with no problem at all. Although we don't want to take too long to kill him, guys. Come on. Don't let him kill the turret with a bow and arrow. That would make me feel slightly sad. Ah, nobody actually gets someone to capture there. Character. Psychically dull, cold lover. Slothful's not great, but doesn't look bad. Incapable of social's not the end of the world. Health-wise, left eye shot out fresh. Not that helpful. We need people, so let's capture Bringer. In fact, let's undraft you and capture Bringer. And Mako, undraft, and let's go strip some people before we leave you to your own devices. Is that someone called Donkey? It is. Nice. Nice. Right, so I think what we need to do now, this is so close to the turrets, it's part of the problem. So we're going to change a little bit how our defensive layout here goes. So this is not going to be anything like as far forward, but I still want it to attach from there. What we should do, in fact, is move the power switch. This is a far more sensible idea, and then we can connect stuff to this without any concerns at all. So let's have one there. One there. We got that one. That's fine. And then, yes, maybe add another power switch bit coming off this side, stub coming off that side shortly. But for now, that's alright. None of those are marked as no, are they? And we have plenty graves. Good. Well, ensure we clear up the bodies relatively quickly, guys. I don't like them kicking around like that so much. I'm pretty sure you guys don't either. Health. No, you need medicine, you need recruitment, you need friendly chat, and JP Minor, are you actually the doctor? Yes. Macor is backup doctor, no longer needed. So JP Minor, can you... No, apparently you can't. Interesting that apparently you don't need medical or meds to treat those things. Or so it says. That's what I keep forgetting to do, is set it as a medical prisoner bed. And given how many beds we've got, let's have a prisoner and a prisoner medical. JP Minor should now go and give him some meds, the last of our proper meds, I might note. Although 89% chance of good quality is always a bonus. Not sure what we can do about your missing eye, my friend. I'm afraid. Certainly nothing right now. Next time we get a trader in range, I might have a look at bionic eyes if you come over to our side. Hint, hint. We can repair the eye we shot out. Wouldn't that be wonderful? A war chief, no less. I pay more attention to these guys now, just so that Slowpoke. It's got some good stuff, but incapable of cleaning and hauling annoys me. One positive note, they did not give a damn about the geothermal so far. Do we go and knock that open for the end of the episode? Food is looking to be a little troublesome. I mean, that's again because of the blight, and we keep having them. And weren't we research? Did we research hydroponics? We did research hydroponics. We moved it on. Yes, now I remember. So we can actually look at having start setting up an indoor thing now that we've got our geothermal up. So is this a suitable sort of location? No, this needs to be made a different size. Cool. But not that size. About that size. And then we can also stick this down as a stockpile. Make sure that it does not allow rotten things and corpses. And then we can get rid of the outside stockpile completely. Goodbye, we are done with you. Which is cool. Tidying up a little bit. Now, Bringer, how you doing? You gonna survive this? You gonna finally give us a new colonist? You are. You are. Well, maybe that's speaking a bit early. A bit too soon, but it certainly looks, for all intents and purposes, like we might actually get our hands on someone new this episode as well. Well, maybe not this episode. Maybe the start of the next. Depends how quickly he comes around. Can't Cruelty do the job? Cruelty has not as good wardening skills. So why is Cruelty the warden? I suddenly saw that and thought, well, JP Minor's the social guy. Why is he not wardening? And the answer is I don't know. Possibly because JP Minor had plenty to do and Cruelty had nothing to do. But at the absolute worst case scenario, Cruelty is more than capable of hauling. So where's the problem? Also, we didn't get a stonecutter's bench up, did we? No, we've just got the tailor's. So let's get a stone cutting bench up too. Not sure if there's anywhere particularly pretty to put this. There you go. Perfect. 8% chance at the moment. So yeah, maybe not this episode. Although perhaps because of that, I might leave the box shut. I wonder, I might go and stand someone like right next to it and see if it screams. No, Cruelty went past it earlier and it didn't scream at me, did it? And I can't for the life of me remember if it did in some of the earlier episodes. A slave trader? Well, that's the other options. I could sell Bringer, or I could buy someone new. Where you gone, JP? Dude, we've got a table. Can you not just go to it? Bet you're getting ate off the... Yeah, you don't have to be eating off the floor, you slacker. Who we got? Well, yeah, we can certainly sell some of this awful weaponry. We'll keep the pump action because they're quite cool. Don't want to sell Bringer. And how are we doing? We do not have enough money to buy anyone. Damn it. That's a shame. I mean, we would, if we sold Bringer, then we could probably buy someone else now, but No, we'll just have to hang on. Ah, and that should mean that my trade beacon is now indoors, isn't it? So, yeah. So what happens? Do they just get dropped outside and then they bring them in? I assume so. I mean, I can't see any scenario in which a trade beacon can drop them into a mountain. Back on top of the food situation as well. Okay, so it's coming round to the point at which I would say last event, and I'll call the episode at the end. I mean, a mad deer in the middle of a whole bunch of other deer, probably not the biggest issue. And was it the mad one that died? Yeah, I think that deer just went psychotic and then got itself beaten up by another deer. Good job. Nicely done. Yes, so as I was saying, this is normally the sort of point where I'd say, I'm going to wait until something exciting happens and then that's where I'll call the episode. But I think what should happen is I should get into this bloody bit of wall here. And this may be a really, really dumb move. It may not, but my thinking is here, and hold that with me, I want to play another Epic Pack playthrough. So I'm going to take a little more risk than I normally would do, just for the sake of it. So I think turrets are all up and running, aren't they? Yep. So the way I would do this is with null and hang on. Let's get a, just in case. Let's add to that sandbag there. Oh nice, recruited Bringer immediately, just in time for Heaton to help deal with alpha beavers. Where are ya? So they're literally just going to eat all the wood. Which is great, but it also means... Are they huntable? Yes, they are. Is that all of the alpha beavers marked? I believe so. No, it's time for you to get to work, and I think I might put Bringer helping. Oh, nice. Good mining. Let's put Bringer quite high up as well. Bringer's just gone and got the pump action shotgun as well, if I remember rightly, so that should be pretty spot on. Mako's going to go and do some hunting too, by the looks of things. They're all going down there for some alpha beaver fighting. Sweet. Get on the case, guys. You finally killed an alpha beaver. No, you've injured an alpha beaver. That's all. And you put one in shock. This may take a while. Especially given how far away they are. Should I just not care? I mean, there's a lot of trees on this map. Or is that like really dumb? And I should be getting alpha beaver meat and alpha beaver fur and stuff. And for this purpose, we might as well have everybody capable of doing a bit of hunting when the need musts. And we can also stick up another research, so I'm not really sure now. Electric smelting or machining, basically. I want to be able to start getting more use. I thought we got so much ore, maybe it's not really that relevant. Maybe we actually just start looking at getting the hell out of here. I mean, as silly as that seems. And we're obviously a little way off yet. We got so many materials to collect. But, yeah. Give it a shot. Oh, a heat wave as well. It's hunting time, boys. Nice bit of silver lying around down here as well. All very... Oh, That's a tortoise, not an alpha beaver. Given they'll be coming back down here so often, let's get them hauling this stuff as well. Cool. Well, on the basis that that happened, I am not going to open that up this episode. Sorry, Presto. I know that's a little annoy you, but the box is staying closed for one more episode. I've got so much alpha beaver meat to go and get that we should make use of this. So yeah, guys, I will call it here. I think we're looking pretty solid. Not the most interesting episode again. There's just not a huge amount happening, and when stuff does happen, we seem to be pretty well on control of it. You know, it's kind of all right with that. But yeah, that'll do for today. Ready for next episode, where we're going to clearly have to deal with this heat wave because it is getting hard. So cheers, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you next time.